This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the SH Figuarts 1989 Batman. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see an image of the character, as well as the 89 Batman logo at the center. Turning the box around, we can see an actual window showcasing the figure, and multiple panels showcasing the figure in multiple posing positions with his different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. Alright guys, so let's take a closer look at this 89 Batman. Now I'll say this real quick, I've always loved SH Figuarts. I was collecting so many of them and I loved them for so long. But in the past, like 2-3 years, I've really fallen off the wagon because, I don't know, they just weren't really doing it for me. So I've been super picky when it comes to SH Figuarts now. And of course, I had to have, and I have to have, pretty much anything 1989 Michael Keaton Batman. An SH Figuarts figure, that was definitely going to be in my collection. So let's take a look here. So I think the figure itself looks really, really good. I love the sculpting that we get here, the musculature of the abs and things like that, very much reminiscent of that old suit. You got the old school type of gauntlets. What I actually really do love, I love the gauntlets for that old design for him, like that. The lines on the back of the hands right here. You got the little studs inside the palms, which is really cool too. I love that old school belt. I think that's just an iconic looking belt, man. I don't know what it is about just the belt, but I absolutely love that. I don't know, maybe that should maybe be a little brighter? I don't know, what do you guys think? Maybe a little more glossier? I'm not sure. Or maybe that's perfect, you know, but I still love that thing. So this suit itself is fairly simple as it's supposed to be. I love how we get like the flat black for like the more rubbered suit that they wore, but then we got more glossy black for things like the boots here. Let me brighten that up a bit so you can see that a little better. So, and these were just like modified sneakers, right? I don't know if they were like Jordans or something like that, but they were modified sneakers that they just turned into like Batman boots, which I thought was pretty funny. But those look really good too. I like that a lot. Really nice tread on the feet. Again, look really good. No peg holes or anything like that. So let's take a look at the back of the figure. You know, pretty basic. You know, again, this is pretty simple to what the suit actually looks like, so I do dig that. And I love how they even gave it like this, almost like a texture to it to make it look like that actual rubber suit, which is really cool. They got the lining of the padding right here on the shoulders, the lining that goes down the butt cracks and butt back there. All looks really cool too. This cape is insane. Now, here's the thing. I like it in the sense I like the way it looks. It's a really nice material. It has like a pleather-like material. It is extremely thick. It almost feels like padding. So it's not all that good to pose around and stuff. And there's no wire in the cape, anything like that. It looks good. I do like the way it looks, but man, posing this around with this thick, bulky cape, it is tricky and it's not pleasant, man. It takes a lot of work to get this the way you want to, and for some reason, I don't know what it is, a lot of these companies that like are import companies from like Japan, things like that, they cannot get capes right a lot of the time. So I don't know what it is, man, but I don't know, I'm very torn on this because I like the way it looks, but I mean, you know, functionality wise, it is not all that great, but still I think the figure itself looks incredible. Alright, so let's talk accessories now. So first I'm going to start with the head sculpts. The first head looks pretty good, I think. You know, SH Figuarts tend to use this dot matrix painting technique to really give it more like a 3D realistic look. And this is one of those things where when you look at it up close, it looks not so good. But it's on the shelf, it's not going to matter at all. I think it looks pretty decent. Does it look like Michael Keaton? Eh, not really. You can't really see Michael Keaton's face under there. And the eyes are like really tough to see, so it's a little tricky. Then we do get a second head sculpt where the mouth is a little open and the eyes are looking to the side. And again, it looks decent. It doesn't look exactly like Michael Keaton, but you can get away with it. It's a pass. Now, how these will actually change out, you're actually going to take the logo right here and pop this off, and it's just like on a little ball peg. You can see that. then that's going to kind of like lock the cowl into place. You're going to remove it like so, and you'll see this whole neck function, how this is this really awkward peg that's on a ball joint. It rolls around a bit, so that's how that is. It's like a bar, and then you just slide that cowl on like that and pop the logo back on. So it's a very interesting way how they designed that. I don't know if that matters all that much, I guess. I don't know. So you can do it that way. Then you could also interchange the mouth like this. You just pop right off. So if you want the head where it's looking more straight with the open mouth, or if you want the eyes looking to the outside and with a closed mouth, you can do that too. So those are interchangeable as well. You know, so it's pretty cool that we get the options. Again, this cowl was designed to not really turn side to side. So whenever he was looking around side to side in the movie, he kind of had to like shift his whole body like that, you know what I mean, instead of actually turning his head. But that was due to the design of the actual suit to give the cowl a whole unique looking piece. So it works for the design of the character. So we got a bunch of interchangeable hands. We got things like gripping hands. We got more like trigger finger hands for holding his grapple gun, things like that. What I do like, we get these like open palm hands, which are super dope. So if you guys remember from the movie, he would like open palm punch people, but these little like metal plates would come out of his hands or his wrist, and he could just punch people with these metal plates. I think that was so brutal. So I thought that was awesome, and I don't think we've ever seen this little thing on an 89 Batman figure ever. So that's a pretty deep cut to give us that there. So you get one for each side. I think that's super cool. You can see the silver studs on there, which is really nice. You know, we get things for like holding hands for like the batarangs and things like that. Pretty much everything you're gonna need, which works out great in my opinion. Now here's the thing. The pegs themselves on these wrists are horrible in my opinion. So if you look at the gapping here, you can see how much gapping there is between the wrist and the actual hand itself. Now I'm guessing it's more to give it more space for motion and things like that, and articulation. So it was a little jarring at first, and it really it's going to depend whether you want the functionality or the look. It really doesn't matter to me, I guess, you know, depending on the poses you get. But I did notice once you try to put them on, the peg holes themselves are very little. So like you try to put them in there, and then some of them are really tight, so you got to give them a little twist in there to get them on properly. And like this one right here, that's on all the way, so it leaves a lot of gapping. So it's really going to depend on what you are okay with, you know what I mean? So maybe you mind it, maybe you don't, maybe it's not that big a deal. We also do get these little like throwing star blades, like little ninja stars. I always thought these were cool too. Again, I don't think we've ever even seen these accessories with any other 89 Batman, so that's really awesome to get two of those. You do get the, oh my god, iconic 89 Batarang. So I get a good look at that. I think that looks cool too. I do kind of wish it folded up, but it's not a big deal, so that looks great. So, but I love that Batarang. Such an iconic looking piece. We also do get his actual grapple gun, which looks really cool too. Again, very iconic looking piece here. Let me zoom in real quick like that so I can really get a good look at it. So I think it looks really cool too. Again, we've seen this with other 89 Batman figures, but I think that's super well done with the gold hook. I just think it looks really, really cool, man. We also do get this. Oh my god, I can't believe we even got this accessory here. Now this is like his zip line that he uses that comes out of his wrist. This is the one that I believe he used it to get Vicky Vale out of that gallery. So this is really cool too. So how this works, you're going to kind of like slide it, and the instructions show it this way. Let me zoom back out here for a sec. So you're mostly supposed to slide it over the top like this, and I shouldn't even be using this hand, to be honest with you. Let me get this, and then put a regular closed fisted hand like that. So you could slide this over the top like that, like there. And that's how it's supposed to go, which is really cool. Again, this is such an iconic accessory, and I don't think we've ever gotten this with any other 89 Batman, which I think is really cool. And then these things would like turn to the side like that, boom, like so. And then he would shoot a grapple hook this way and a grapple line that way, and then he would zip out like that. I thought that was so dope, dude. But the fact that we even got that as an accessory is super rad, so I love that a lot. Now the final accessories are going to be these little rods right here. Now what these are for, if you look in the inside of the cape, you'll see a little lining slot where you can actually slide these into there. Now you got one for each side. So what you're going to do here, now the instructions show you to go from the top into a gripping hand, but it's actually, you're supposed to really do it from the bottom like this. So you can actually position this like so and get it in there like that. And now this is for doing those poses where, you know, he flares out the cape like that. And you can actually move this around and it'll hold on to the cape like that and do all kinds of things. And again, you'll see some pictures later on. So I think that's pretty cool because they actually had it like this in the movie, on the actual suit. Michael Keaton would hold on to these rods that were slided into the actual cape itself, and that's how he would get those like poses and things like that. So that's actually really cool too. I do like that function. Again, it's a little tricky at sometimes because this cape is so thick and hard to pose, so it can be kind of a pain in the butt, but still, man, everything that we do get, it honestly is pretty impressive. Such a great amount of accessories for such an iconic character. Okay, now let's talk articulation here. So the head, or that neck, that head bar, or whatever you want to call it, is on a ball joint, and you can kind of move the head around a little bit, but it's not going to be too much. Again, you're not really meant to move the neck around, and his mouth totally fell off. That is awkward, dude. Get your face back on there, man. Okay. All right, there we go, right there. Let's hopefully that stays. So the arms can go all the way up about that far to the side. We do get a butterfly joint in there, as well as they're on a ball peg like this, so they can go full 360. No swivel at the bicep, so you're mostly going to swivel at that ball peg at the shoulder there. You get a single bend at the elbow that bends past 90, as well as rotates at that elbow. You get rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist like that. So, you know, pretty decent motion there. It's really going to be hindered by this cape, because this cape is so bulky, man, and you can't quite fold it over the shoulder like that without looking not too natural. So trust me, it's really tricky once you get it in your hand, but you can make it work for the most part. The double ball peg in the midsection goes into his crotch and into his chest, so that rolls around like so, does rotate left and right, pivot side to side, and crunches back and forth like so. So that works pretty good. We got hip joints that kick forward that far, back about that much, splits all the way out, rotation in that upper thigh. We got double jointed knees that bend about far. Nothing at the boot. The ankles go up, down, rotate an ankle rock side to side, and we do get a little bit of toe articulation, which is kind of unnecessary, but it is there. So overall, honestly, this is by no means a perfect 89 Batman figure. I do enjoy it quite a bit because I love 89 Batman. I love Michael Keaton's Batman. You know, before there was, you know, the MCU and before there was the X-Men movies, this movie is what really changed comic book movies for the future. And, you know, the articulation is great. I love so many things about it, and it also has its problems. So I think if you just love the character itself and you just want another 89 Batman for your shelf, I think he is definitely a must-get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and NECA Batman figures. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to a Kenner Batman and a NECA Batman. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the 1989 SH Figuarts Batman. Now overall, I think this is a really cool figure. It's by no means perfect. The head sculpts are decent, but they don't really look a whole lot like Michael Keaton. I think the articulation works really great, and the sculpt itself of the entire figure is really awesome. Now the thing where it shines the most for me is the accessories. I love all the different gadgets and things that we get are just so freaking cool, man. I love how much we get for this character. Now the hands are a little bit of a pain in the butt to interchange, and that cape is honestly really thick and really awkward, and I'm kind of used to that with these things, but man, I really wish they would do better. But even with those issues, still, he's so much fun and so badass, and 89 Batman figures are a little hard to come by, and thankfully we're getting a lot more now. So if you love him like I do, then I think this piece will be great in any of your collections. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.